We're back. It's time for yet another TPL action. Another TPL game. It's week 6. My name is Jkkayy, coach of your Minneapolis Mudsdales, and I'm here to say it's been a while. I'm a little behind in the video schedule, getting week 6 against Sauce up. But, you know, we're here and we're ready to show a really cool game for a lot of different reasons. The good news is we've made playoffs. I'll just say that. We knew kind of going in that our playoff spot was secure, but didn't really know what our seeding situation was going to look like. So this is a really important game for that. Maybe not a must win, but the better our differential can be, the better our record can be, the better things will be overall. So really excited to dive in and play against Garrett every single time. It's a very, very tough matchup. He is a super strong competitor, always brings really creative and annoyingly creative sets. So we had to come up with a couple of different things to cover our weaknesses this week and give us a shot to get a dub and end the season 4-2. If we lose, we're 3-3, and then things get really funky. So let's dive into the team builder and we'll show you kind of what we're working with. So right off the bat, we have Entei. This is kind of our secret technique for this week. It is bringing overheat on our max attack Entei. 3 moves, Sacred Fire, Stone Edge, Extreme Speed, and then we have this kind of secret tech to hopefully catch Garrett a little off guard and knock out an Orthworm, take out something that maybe gets a defense buff or where we're just outside of range with our physical attack, but Overheat maybe comes in and surprises him. So I'm really excited to try this out and see if it works, and then kind of anchor the rest of the team built around Entei being one of the main offensive threats. Okay, so Entei definitely offensive minded, but we need to anchor some defense. You know me, I'm a defensive boy. I gotta have kind of my good walls or my good kind of core mons in the lineup that serve that defensive purpose. And Tsareena is our physical defensive mon for this week. We're running boots and rapid spin to kind of deal with hazards. If Garrett wants to set up a whole bunch of different kinds of stuff, we want to be ready for him. Trap Kick, Knockoff, Synthesis, just to kind of help with some longevity. Garrett's got a Sun team, so Synthesis in the Sun is busted. Gives me a lot of recovery. And there's kind of some other counter Sun measures that I'm taking, along with obviously Entei having 2 fire moves that get boosted in the Sun. Synthesis on the Tsareena is definitely like just a good move. Good recovery, but in the Sun I get a bunch of health, which is really important, and hopefully we can drop kick our way to neuter some of the threats that Garrett has, and hopefully be able to take on stuff like an Iron Treads, or not an Iron Treads, excuse me, what is that, the Paradox, Raging Tusk, yeah. The old school Dawn fan. You know what I'm talking about. This is one of our counters to his many physical threats. And that's... and we're Terra Water. Good thing to mention here on this one as well. So that's the Tsareena set. I know that was kind of all over the place. But the important things... Synthesis in the Sun is busted. Trap Kick and Knockoff are good moves, and we've got Hazard Removal and Boots Protection. So that's the Tsareena. Well, Tsareena is our physical defensive mon. Registeel is our specially defensive mon. We're running an Assault Vest, Heavy Slam, Body Press, Earthquake, and Ice Spinner. This is, quite honestly, just like there to deal with Glaceon and a couple of his other really good special attackers. Heavy Slam is just kind of my best move, kind of looking at damage calcs and stuff. My best steel type move. There was a little bit of a consideration to run kind of like a mixed attacker set again and kind of put on some special type moves, but ultimately we just decided to go kind of that Spidef plus special attack minus nature. And really just kind of go into that wall type role for Registeel. It's not sexy, it's not flashy, but it'll get the job done. this set, Milotic this week, is interesting. We're running offensive Milotic with Scald, Ice Beam, Alluring Voice, and Recover. And really this is to try and stop his mons from setting up. Gouging Fire is ridiculous. And this is my best shot at hopefully slowing that thing down. We're running a Keyberry, which is really cool. I boost my defense if I get hit by a physical type move. And we're hoping that, in that with conjunction with Recover and some of my other moves, I'm able to 1v1 some of his big threats. It's tough. Milotic is... I went back and forth on what item to run, what set to run. Ultimately, I just figured let's try a competitive offensive set and just throw that Keyberry on there and see what happens. Like, Milotic has potential to be kind of this boom or bust offense this week. I'm really excited to try it out. And if I go 1 for 1, that's awesome. If I pick up 2 kills, that's freaking great. Choice Scarf Latios. And last but not least, we mentioned Garrett has a Sun team. I'm expecting him to bring Sun. What is really good in Sun? This thing. Chlorophyll Venusaur is making its not debut, Chlorophyll for sure, making its season debut. I haven't used Venusaur a ton this season, but Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, Earth Power, and Growth in the Sun. This is a win more set. If he doesn't bring Sun, Venusaur's just kind of meh. If he brings Sun and I can get this thing in and click Growth, it's over. Has the potential to just run away with this week. But it all kind of hinges on him bringing Ninetales. If he doesn't bring Ninetales, then this is kind of just there. I mean, don't get me wrong, Venusaur is a great Pokemon, and this set is definitely still good without Sun. But it is like, if he brings Sun, I have my counter, and I can go to town. After 1 growth in the Sun, this thing goes bananas. And we'll hopefully be able to catch him off guard. I don't think he's going to expect me to do that. And we're just going to see if it works. Like I said, we have a little bit of freedom to kind of play fast and loose just because we have that playoff seeding, or we have playoff secured, but we're playing for differential. We're playing for seeding. A win is super important here to help kind of control our own destiny. If we don't win, things get a lot more complicated pretty quickly. So this is kind of it's a little bit ballsy in the team builder, but I'm really excited to see if it can work. And that's just kind of where we're at. Cross your fingers. Hope that he brings Sun. Let's check out the match, and we'll see you afterwards. Hey, gang. I goofed. Found out in the recording of our game. Don't worry, I have the game. But for some reason, my audio on my mic was not working. So it's 24 minutes of great gameplay, but my perspective has no audio from myself. So what we're going to do is watch it together, and I'll commentate over the top of it. It won't be as impactful, but at least we'll get a chance to kind of watch the game. And now that it's been a little while, I'll be able to talk through things and maybe not quite be so salty about how things start or go. That's a little bit of a spoiler, but it's a great video on Garrett's side. Definitely go check out his video, and let's get into our side, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so right off the rip, unfortunately, he doesn't bring Sun. It does stink. I was really looking forward to having that kind of counter strategy work. but to no avail. Unfortunately, he brings a really scary lineup: Darkrai, Glaceon, Gouging Fire, Hatterene, Great Tusk, and Earthworm. So I still think that the Entei Overheat special is valuable, and I think it's probably still going to work. Unfortunately, Venusaur's usefulness is not quite where it could have been, and we really just have to play tough and just kind of watch how things go. I'm going to lead Entei and kind of just see how if I can get that kind of surprise factor off, and we'll see what Garrett wants to do. There's going to be some downtime, some dead time as I kind of narrate over the top, and Josh underneath me that you can't see is probably talking about his lead and some other things. But the important thing is we're going to lead Entei. Garrett took a long time to pick, so I have no idea what he wants to do. He took his time, and ultimately we get into this game here. And let me see if I can just move this over slightly so that I can see it while we're talking. Yeah, here we go. So Garrett is going to lead Hatterene, and I think that this is, ultimately this is really fine. Entei, I'm not really fearing this thing, and I'm just going to rip a Sacred Fire right away, do as much damage as I can, and see how things go right off the rip from turn one. I feel pretty good about the lead overall. Like I said, not super scared. Sacred Fire comes out and does about half, which is great, and faster. We get the burn. All things considered, really good turn one for us. We go show our Life Orb, and Hatterene goes for Reflect. So Garrett's running screens on this thing, and now it's into a roll where the Sacred Fire may not get a kill here, so we get to show Entei's secret technique and click Overheat, and you maybe catch Garrett off, catch him by surprise, as I assume he's going for a light screen or a nuzzle or something along that line. He probably feels safe enough to where he can live one more Sacred Fire, but we do have that special attack that's going to come in clutch. We do use that overheat that comes out, and we pick up a kill. It's great. The crit absolutely did not matter. We go up 2 turns in, we're up 2-0. Or, excuse me, 2 turns in, we're up 1-0, which is awesome. And this is where things get a little interesting with just kind of how everything played out. Now we're into a scenario where I'm really not sure what he's going to put out there. There's a number of things that he could switch in. He's got that Reflect Up, which makes it a lot more a lot more obscure about like what is actually going to happen here. So I really just am kind of at the mercy of whatever he decides, and he goes into a Delion, which is the Glaceon. Now this thing could be Terra Ground, so I can't really comfortably stay in, even though I would love to just click Sacred Fire. But I need to swap. The Reflect being up means that my attacks aren't going to be as great. I've already shown the Overheat, so I have that negative special attack, which means I can't really click it again. So I need to swap out. I'll go into my Registeel, which is kind of like like I said, the special counter, the special wall, that is hopefully just going to be able to sit in front of this thing and be able to kind of invalidate what the Glaceon wants to do. Terra Ground, Terra Blast does hurt, but I think it's like a 3-shot at neutral Spatak, so we'll just kind of see what happens. But Registeel, I feel, is my best switch. It's not great. He's kind of taking some initiative back, and he does go for Terra, and it is Terra Ground. So all my fears are confirmed. And testing Glaceon was like hit or miss, whether or not it was super impactful. But he goes for sub. And at the time, I was like, oh, come on. It's going to be sub setup. This is classic Garrett, you know, not fun to play against, but it's such a good set. Especially against the team that I brought. I have so many special attackers on the roster this week that I need to be really careful about how I navigate this substitute. And the thing that changes everything is the fact that he's got that reflect up. It means that heavy slam and body press both don't do enough. Ice spinner doesn't do enough to break a sub. It's really, really in a tough spot. And I found out later that this thing is just bulked out of its mind. And Garrett brought an awesome set. And it's Calm Mind, which makes it even more scary. It's just going to sit there and be able to boost its defense and its offense on the special side. And without the reflect there, Heavy Slam would have been a 2-shot to knock out the sub. But I think the way things roll and its leftovers, you know, as bulky and annoying as it possibly can be, I'm kind of in a spot where I can't really switch out, but I can't do enough damage to break the sub consistently. So I just kind of have to sit there and take it and whittle my way down and try and do everything I can just to make sure that this thing doesn't get out of control. The kind of the end game, or like the spot that I need to happen is, number one, I need to break the sub and I need to get Tsareena in, tear out water, hope he doesn't have freeze dry, and click drop kick, and that's kind of our end game, right? To at least take the Glaceon out. So the gameplay right now is not super enthusiastic on my side. I'm kind of like realizing that, like, oh crap, this is something that's not gonna be easy to deal with. I'm probably gonna lose multiple resources taking this thing out. You know, a best case scenario, it probably takes 2 of my mons. Worst case scenario, I get swept. So it's kind of like, you know, we're on turn 5 or so here, and I'm already thinking like, shoot, I'm playing for differential, not necessarily a win. This Glaceon is super spooky. I'm not doing enough damage, but I can't switch in because nothing can take a Terra Blast. So it's just a really good set that Garrett brought, and he definitely outsmarted me. But even at +2, Registeel doesn't take hardly any damage. The problem is I'm not doing much. We finally get the sub broken. That reflect being up, that turn 1 reflect was absolutely the difference maker. Without that reflect, this game is so different on the rip. And I wish I had Brick Break or something that could have gotten rid of screens, but he's got 2 turns left. He's at +2/+2. Really, really solid opening from Garrett, and I'm on the back foot and just trying to find a way. And if you can see my face from the actual game, I'm not happy. Like I said, it's been a while. I can look back and just be like, wow, Garrett's prep was really good. In the moment, I was like, man, I was not happy. I was not a happy camper. Because you just kind of get into a spot where you feel helpless. Like, nothing that I have is going to be good enough. I can't let this thing just sub for free. I've got to do some damage, even though it's not a ton. And it's just a really tough spot to be in. And I probably sound like a broken record, but it is like this kind of mid to early to mid game here is a lot of just trying to ultimately I kind of just have to accept my fate here. I'm going to play out until Registeel goes down. Burn as many turns of reflect as possible. Hope that the moveset is like Terra Blast, Ice Beam. But like, why run Ice Beam when Freeze Dry is a move? And that's unfortunately kind of the spot that we're in. So Registeel's almost dead. Glaceon's very comfortable. Leftover sub it has just been so good. I wonder if I can pull up Garrett's actual set here. If I go to PokePastes and I pull up, if I pull up Garrett's set, this is the wrong set. This one. Yeah, here we go. So this set, the Glaceon set, is max defense, bold nature. So it's taking these hits, even without the light screen, pretty well. 40 into speed, so he sped crept something. I don't know exactly what. And then 216 in HP. So this thing is absolutely built to do exactly this. So now it's 5-5. He's got a sub down. I've done a little bit of damage to it. But that leftovers recovery is just so good. It just basically invalidates everything that Registeel did. And now I don't have my AV user. I really am just like, okay, I have to go with Tsareena. I should be in a spot where I can at least live. I for sure live a Terra Blast. Absolutely live a Terra Blast. And Trap Kick does a lot. It should do a lot anyways. And I just have to, like I said, I kind of have to hope that he doesn't have Freeze Dry and then he's got Ice Beam. And my grass typing, not great. Man, if I would have brought Terra Fighting Tsareena, that would have been so much better. But I wanted Terra Water to help with the Gouging Fire and the Sun matchup overall, just so that I didn't die to like Fire Blast and stuff like that. So Terra Water was a choice that I made. Unfortunately, it wasn't a great one. I think looking back at this season, I should have, after the first week, swapped the Terra types on probably both of my Terra captains. Prime's been solid for the most part. Haven't used Terra Ghost as successfully as I had hoped. But Terra Fighting and Terra Ice have been pretty good on Primeape. Water, Grass, and Fighting on Tsareena have been very lackluster. It doesn't do enough. But if I would have had, like, imagine if I would have had Terra Fairy instead. Maybe that was a good thing to think about. I think I'm still, even like my APDL team right now, as obviously we see, he does have Freeze Dry. Glaceon goes down, or Glaceon gets a big kill on the Tsareena, and now I go into Entei. I'm thinking, okay, I have to click something. I have to do some damage to this thing. I can't let it just substitute up for free. And that's the saving grace, is that it doesn't have a sub anymore. So Sacred Fire is hopefully doing enough. Stone Edge is not great. Extreme Speed's not great. Overheat is just kind of not great either because he's +2. So it's just, I'm in a tough spot. So I think I'm still learning the how to optimize my Terra types. I think that's definitely like a weak point in my game, is not having a really great understanding of like what Terra options are the best for my Mons. And that's something that I'm just going to have to keep continuing to learn. Entei, like I said, it's my best option currently. I'm going to hope that Sacred Fire does enough damage to hopefully get a burn and some residual, kind of negate that leftovers. Probably not living a Terra Blast here. So it's really tough, guys. It's really tough. This Glaceon set was so good against what I brought. And like watching this back and seeing my face, I'm just like, I'm just so pissed. I'm so mad because it's like this set just kind of invalidates like half of my team. And as you can see, it's a problem. Like, I am now going to die to a Terra Blast here, I think. Yep, there I go. Entei goes down. Glaceon now is 3 kills deep. I think this thing goes 4 4-1, I think. It's killed my Tsareena, my Registeel, and my Entei so far. And I can't remember. I think I go into Venusaur? No, what do I do here? The thing that helps is that this Glaceon is slow. I mean, it's got some speed investment, but I have just like the natural speed tiers of my Mons is a little bit better to where I have the advantage, at least in clicking a button. But I think, do I go Venusaur here or do I go Latios? Yeah, I go Venusaur to click Giga Drain, I'm fairly certain. I'm shaking my head and shrugging my shoulders. There's just not much I can do. He's at +2. This Venusaur is built to be a sun counter, not necessarily take a Glaceon one-on-one. But yeah, I'm sorry the commentary is a little different on this, guys. I really maybe it's a good thing you can't hear my in-game commentary just with how mad I was. But it's kind of it's tough to look back on a game that happened like a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago and be able to provide a good kind of over-the-top commentary. Man, Giga Drain was so close to killing there. Oh, it was so close. That would have been huge. Freeze Dry is going to end my life and my career as a Pokemon battler. So Venusaur's down, and now Milotic can come in finally and click Scald and get a kill and end this suffering and pain. But now it's 2-5, and I'm playing purely for differential now. We're in a spot where if Garrett wins and I lose, which is kind of how this kind of plays out, we're very close in differential overall. So like the tiebreaker scores and kind of how that stuff works out, the more kills and the closer I can make this game, the better. And I realized that at about this point in the match where I'm just like, okay, I have to play for differential. I have to pick up kills where I can, and really just like probably not winning. Playoffs are secure. Let's just try and get as many kills as possible, and just try and weather the storm here a little bit. So Glaceon finally goes down. It's 2-4, and things are pretty bleak. What I have left just is tough. I can't really take on what he has left. The fact that Latios is scarfed is kind of a negative factor here, in the fact that I can't do more than just click Draco Meteor. Unfortunately, the Latios is on the bench right now, and I don't have a way to switch it in. That would have been awesome. This Gouging Fire is it's Jolly Nature Photosynthesis with a Choice Band. So this thing hits hard. Max attack, 200 speed. Outrage is going to do a bunch of damage. I barely live. The Keyberry pops off. It was a cool idea, but ultimately it doesn't matter. I'm at 12 HP. So anything is going to kill me. Scald comes out and does enough damage to where I get at least kill with Draco after I come in. But Outrage, yeah, like I said, easily going to do 12 damage. So Milotic goes down. Gouging Fire gets a kill. And then Latios comes in, and I unfortunately have to just click Draco Meteor, and I can't really do much else. With the moveset that I have, he's got some checks in the back with, like the Great Tusk. I would love to click Lustre Purge here, but he's got a Darkrai, so it doesn't, I can't. And so Draco Meteor is just going to have to be the button that I click. Now I need to pray for crits. Unfortunately, that's just the spot I'm in. I do tighten the differential. It's now 3-1, and I've done everything I can to get it as close as possible, and avoid disaster of like a 6-0 or a 5-0, which in a different world it could have been. But yeah, it's just kind of a spot where now I'm locked into Draco Meteor, and now Garrett takes forever to just click a button. It's like, come on, dude. What do you have left? Just go into whatever mon you need and kill me. And I know, like, he's thinking the same thing, right? Is like, hey, he needs as much differential as possible to help with his playoff seeding. The booster energy goes off on this photosynthesis, and its speed goes through the roof. So now it's faster than me. It might not. No, I am still faster because of the scarf. Draco does just about half, even at +2, which was more than I thought it was going to do. And we live a Mega Horn. And so we're just like ready to just pray for a crit. Maybe give me one more kill, and it doesn't happen. And he goes for the rapid spin to not BM, but to in his video he called it the rapid spin BM, but any move is going to kill at that point. So we do lose to Garrett 3-0. It was a great game from his perspective. I struggled. I was not. Yeah, you can see me, talking here. I'll just give it. But it was a great game from Garrett's side. Really good prep on his part. The Glaceon was nuts. And I just have to say GG's. There's not much more to say than that, to be honest with you. So we make playoffs. We do fall into the bottom half of the bracket. So that does stink a little bit, just to know that our fate is not ours to handle, I guess is how you could call it. So our opponent will be picked for us, and we end up getting matched up with our old buddy EDahl. So it'll be a fire first round of playoffs. Really excited to see how things go. We're going to play that game actually. Time of recording is Saturday the 25th. We're going to play that game tomorrow night at 8 p.m. So you'll have to watch and see how we do there. But definitely need to just shake this one off. It was a tough defeat, but definitely won't sour our attitude for the whole rest of the TPL season 1 here. Got to shake it off, clear the mindset, build a great team for Ryan, and see how we do in playoffs. So thanks for watching. Sorry this video was kind of, number 1, super late, number 2, a little scuffed in how we recorded it, but definitely go check out Garrett's video. It's a lot better than this one is, and it'll give you kind of the perspective of a live commentary too. So we'll just go from there, and like I said, EDahl in round 2, or in round 1, excuse me. TPL's been super fun. Wi-Fi's been super fun. I love playing on cartridge. It's so different than Showdown. And we're struggling in the APDL right now. We're 0-2. So we need to clutch up here a little bit and get a win and get back on track. So hopefully that happens here in playoffs and we can make a run. We got some fun free agency swaps that happened before playoffs kicked in. So now I've got a Jugs and a Garganackle, which is great. And hopefully will give me just kind of, we cut the roster a bunch. We're down to 10 mons, but should give us a little different flexibility for kind of the long term of playoffs, and hopefully we can make a run at that first championship for this league. So thanks for watching. I'm rambling now. Let's get out of here. See you back very, very soon for playoffs round 1 against the North Dakota Noibats or Noiverns or whatever his team is. I'm sorry, Ryan. I can never remember. But thanks for watching. Do all the YouTube stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. And we'll see you back next time.